Hey everybody, welcome to DadsDen of Pop Culture, Justice League International Monday. We have reached Justice League number 23, cover date of January 1989. That was a big year. Big movie came out that year if you were a comic book guy. This is, as it says up here, an Invasion Aftermath Extra. Okay, Invasion, of course, was the maxi series crossover event, aliens invading Earth. So this is after the invasion. Story by Giffen and DeMatteis. Art by McGuire, and now it says, or at least it looks like it says, Robinstein up here. But if we go to the first page, you will see that it is Joe Rubinstein. So that was a little cover error, unless it was done as sort of like a joke, but probably not. So let's dive into this. A small island in the South Pacific is big mess, no? Is big mess, yes. When those Kuns crash a ship, they don't kid around. I still don't get it. What are we doing here? Cleanup detail. Cleanup? You're kidding. Do I look like I'm kidding, guy? Who can tell? This could be dangerous, people. No telling what kind of booby traps they may have left behind. Maybe I should look her over first. Of course, that is Mr. Miracle speaking there. We have Rocket Red, Booster Gold. We got Ice, we got Fire, we got Green Lantern, i.e. Guy Gardner, Blue Beetle, and of course, the Martian Manhunter in Gross Injustice. All right. So we're really starting to get into the more comical portion of the book as we go in here. Now, that doesn't mean there's not action, but you would call this an action comedy book. So obviously people are sort of, arguing a little bit, as they often do in the Justice League. Blue Beetle, oh no, remember what happened the last time you checked out an alien ship? Of course, they're referring to him getting carried away by MangaCon, ending up with everybody on Apocalypse and having to deal with Darkseid, although Darkseid was actually fairly reasonable when that happened. So they're arguing a little bit. I mean, you almost got us killed by a fiendish thingy. Oh, really? As I recall, it was your fault that my fault. I'm the one who saved the day, remember? You, the day you save the day, is the day. That will be enough. Yes, sir, your manhunterness, sir. You got it, boss. Okay. So lots of yelling, lots of shouting, a lot of petty bickering. And then they hear something. Oh no, Guy, what do you think you're doing? What does it look like I'm doing? How many guesses do we get? So Guy Gardner, tired of waiting, decides he's going to take matters into his own hands, uses the power ring to create like this, sort of a vice. You jerks want to stand there jawing all day, go right ahead. Me, I'm getting this garbage detail over and done with as soon as possible. I hate to say this, but he makes sense. Can't be. Guy never makes sense. In fact, when it seems like he's making sense, then he's really making no sense at all. That doesn't make any sense, I know. So, Guy, as we know, throwing caution to the wind. And what does he end up doing? He ends up just tearing a big chunk out of the ship. And it falls apart. And now they probably have a much bigger mess that they have to clean up. 10 Reasons to Buy Suicide Squad in 1989. Monthly by John Ostrander, Luke McDonnell, and Carl Kessel. Okay, now elsewhere in the South Pacific, we're going to see the formation, the reformation of one of the Justice League's greatest band of enemies. Let me straighten that up a little bit there. And so we're hearing a little bit of cursing. What is the problem, Bruce? I think the battery dead. This is a Thanagarian starship. They don't have batteries. At least I don't think they do. All the same, major disaster. I think we should call the AAA, the AAA, good Lord. This baby's not turning over. Bruce, don't make me forget all the good times we had in prison together. I hired you as my assistant because you said you were good with machines. I am, but this one's just going to take a while, that's all. We may not have a while. We must make off with this ship before we're discovered. Who's going to discover us here? We're in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So clearly the plan here, by major disaster, is to get a hold of this Thanagarian starship so they could use it in their various evil schemes. And who do we have here but the Clock King? And so how much time do we have? Hey, I'm the Clock King, remember? Time is my life. What are you moping about, Multi-Man? What? You want to know what? For one thing, I'm stuck here working with all of you clowns. Clowns? With your powers, you should just be happy we're keeping you around. Yeah, right, I'm delighted. Multi-Man not be sad. Big Sir make you happy. Oh, wonderful. Now this moron is feeling sorry for me. What's with him anyway? I thought he was supposed to be a genius. He was, but it was only temporary. Too bad for us, too. We could use a genius right now. And you have one in major disaster. I assure you, you have all made the right decision in joining forces with me. So you keep saying. Once we have this vessel operational, we will be a power to be reckoned with. No longer will the world look upon us as second-rate villains. Yeah, now they'll call us third-rate villains. Mark my words, Multi-Man. We have a marvelous destiny ahead of us. The world will soon fall at our feet. Frack. That is, if we don't all get electrocuted first. So, well, you have this sort of sillier version of the Justice League. I mean, silly's not really the right word. They have actually done their business in saving the world pretty well. But they're a little goofy. They're a little off. Kind of the Bad News Bears of superhero teams. So who is going to form to oppose them? Well, who else but the Injustice League? They were in Justice League, right? They weren't the Injustice Gang. Yeah, they're in Justice League. Wasn't there an Injustice Gang at one point? All right. I'm asking questions to people who are watching a video. Well, if you know the answer, throw it in the comments. So they also have Clue Master with them, who's just sort of hanging out on the beach. And he's been watching the island across the way, and he thinks he's seen some activity over there. Okay. All right. So, could that be our Justice League? Any idea what he plans to do when he gets the ship running? Of course, they're talking about major disaster. He says he's either going to rob a bank, kill Superman, or take over the world. We get to vote on it later. Oh, for joy. And, you got to think, if you're one of the you're not an A-lister villain, man, you go through a lot of work for nothing, And if you're a Joker or a Lex Luthor, it's all part of the game. But some of these guys, they got to be a little bit more like, working stiffs. Okay. So, Blue Beetle is bored, even though he's on a tropical paradise. I'm a city boy. My idea of fun in the sun is running through an open fire hydrant while the police chase me. We have fire, we have ice, chatting with John. I still don't understand why you're punishing Scott along with Guy. After all, it wasn't his fault the guy decided to ice. I'm not punishing Scott. Mr. Miracle is a master of alien technologies. I want him to check through the wreckage, make sure there are no nasty surprises. When he's done, we'll dispose of the junk. Something wrong, Fire? What? Oh, no, at least I don't think so. I just thought I saw some activity on that island over there. Just my imagination, though. If you would like, I could fly over there. And, well, no, I'm sure it's nothing. Okay, so sort of mirroring what we were getting with Clue Master. This is a very dialogue-heavy issue. And you know what? You find that very often in comics. When you've had a multi-issue story with action, with etc., and we did just have one with the invasion, and then they end up on Apocalypse, a lot of times you'll sort of power down with a, more lighthearted, a little bit funnier kind of story, maybe a lot more dialogue heavy, but you're going to be sowing the seeds for future storylines. So we get a nice little bit here between Guy and Mr. Miracle, giving a chance to show the work in Faces, which I'll tell you what, I wouldn't say it's exactly a lost art in comic books, but it was something they really understood in the old days of the importance of that kind of work. So meanwhile, the Injustice League, still hard at work. You know, here we get him actually saying the name. Whatever the case, my cronies and I shall soon be known to every man, woman, and child on this planet. All will tremble at the command. All will tremble at the coming of major disaster and the Injustice League. Or maybe the Brotherhood of Badness? No. The Injustice League has more panache. How about the Legion of Lunatics? Is there a bus stop near here? I think I want to go home. So he's having a lot of trouble convincing everybody to, jump on board what he's trying to do here. So at any rate, radio came through intact. It's picking up a signal from someplace nearby. Yeah. And did I hear somebody say something about an Injustice League? As in bad guys? As in busting heads? As in, I'm out of here. Guy, wait. You can't just go off like that. We've got to tell the others what's... when Batman's not around, he's just uncontrollable. So he's making his little speech, and they're picking it up on the radio in the Kund warship. Okay, Power Ring, lead your favorite Green Lantern right to the source of those transmissions. I'll mop this Injustice League up single-handed, and then I can spend the rest of the day gloating and driving Miracle and the rest of those wimps up the wall. God, sometimes life's really worth living. Good art there. By the way, good art throughout. Okay, so Guy is basically going in alone, but they do have the ship going now. I told you I could do it. I told you I could make this baby fly. And so all of a sudden, though, whomp, he's using the Power Ring to knock on them. Green Lantern, destroy him. How? What do you mean, how? I didn't think it was a trick question. This is an alien starship, you idiot. It's bristling with sophisticated weaponry. All we have to do is push a button and it shoots upwards. Oh, for crying out loud. So in other words, yeah, he got it going, but they still don't know how to actually use this thing. But Guy is not going to let that stop him. You think you're getting away from me that easy? No way. Forget it. And so now it sounds like they're listening in on the radio as well here. That's Guy, all right. He turns a phrase like no man alive. Just following Beetle. How come everybody always sighs like that when I make a little joke? Perhaps if the jokes weren't so little. Boy, Guy's moving fast. I'm going to have to give this baby all she's got to keep up with him. So, and that sort of cartoony, sort of like what you would expect to see in a Roadrunner cartoon. You see, everybody sort of falls to the back of the ship as he's going after them. They kind of make it up into space here. You incompetent moron, you almost killed us. I almost killed us. You're the one who hit the damn button. If you'd known what you were doing, I wouldn't have had to hit the button. So Multi-Man gets in on the act. Yo-yo. No one calls Major Disaster a yo-yo and lives to see the morning. What are you going to do, Mage? Paddle my bottom and then send me to bed without any... I always thought the Multi-Man here looked a little bit like Egghead from the old Batman TV show, Vincent Price. Just give him some pointy ears. And then, boom, now what? That sounded like something hit us. Hit us. It went through us. Man, what a rush. I just love smashing through spaceships. That something, of course, is Guy Gardner. Nice, big window. Amazing. He passed through the entire ship in only 4.2 seconds. That would be Clock King. Well, Cluemaster wants to know if he hit anything vital. And when the ship starts falling out of the sky, well, that kind of answers the question pretty nicely. All right, so here comes the Justice League. Unfortunately, they're coming straight at a ship that's now falling. So open the hatch. Not to worry, friend John. I'll be glad to. No, I'll do it. If you want a job done right, gee, you think maybe on Mars it's the men who get premenstrual? Oh, they'd probably get in trouble for that one now. But I mean, it is Blue Beetle, and that's what he does. It's not attacking, it's falling. Whoever they are, they seem to have a problem mastering alien technology. All right, so he flies up there to handle it. Sometimes you forget that Martian Manhunter is kind of on par with Superman, just about. Maybe not quite, but I mean, he is extremely powerful. So he catches the thing. Now, if I can just, and then all of a sudden, something just crashed through the ship. Oh, I should have known. And he's laughing his head off as he attacks a ship that's already disabled and heading down. And later, back on the island, we'll take him from here, Jones. You did a good job. It was almost a disaster. Yeah, I'll bet that Injustice League was a tough bunch to handle. Oh, no, they were no problem. It's my own team that's driving me crazy. Nice bracelets. Can I keep mine? I swear if they put me in the same cell with him, I'm going to shoot myself. Ooh, if Multi-Man hurts himself, I'll be so sad. Okay, so we get a final warning from Major Disaster here. I warn you, Martian, you've not heard the last of the Injustice League. And you've not heard the last of us, Major. That name your team's taken constitutes a copyright infringement. Our lawyers will be calling your lawyers. Thanks again, Jones. Keep up the good work. You may be a little green, but I think you'd make a darn good soldier. A little green? And he actually breaks a smile and starts laughing at that one. So the helicopter takes off, and we get in-flight snack. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to shoot myself now. I tell you, had an unkind fate not stepped in, we would have succeeded. And I tell you, we will succeed. We'll escape this ship, live to fight another day, and soon, very soon, the Injustice League will rise up from the depths to conquer the... shut up. Now, I understand that you're irritable, but when you hear my secret plan for world domination, I know that you'll... Wait a minute. Why are you looking at me like that? What? So they attack him on there. Okay. So basically, this one's done for comedy. And of course, I guess we still have a little bit more, but we are going to meet the Injustice League again. And so it looks like they're back to cleaning up debris, and kicks this thing. Guy Gardner's angry, kicks this debris. Damn it, Guy, be careful. I told you that we don't know what we're dealing with here. For all we know, that box you just kicked could be some kind of a... Did you say trap? I gotta bring out the magnifying glass just to see that. Some kind of a... bomb. Okay. You know, when they have them do the little whisper thing, it's sometimes a little hard to read when you're my age. So everything goes black. Oh, wonderful. What have they done now? Booster, would you please go check up on Guy and Scott? Don't you think we should... Why does everyone on this team insist on questioning my orders? Beetle's right. You sound just like Batman. Go. Okay, I'm going. So anyways, like I was saying, this one, just a little bit more goofy. Next, the deadly secret of the atmospheric inversion revealed in Invasion Book 3, and next month, our Gala Overstuffed 2nd anniversary issue on sale in 30 or so. Now, we're not going to look at that invasion thing. I'm sure it's a really interesting bit of superhero pseudoscience. And since there is going to be another issue of Justice League International, we can assume the atmospheric inversion doesn't kill everybody. So that's good. Okay, well, here we go. Justice League 23, we're almost at the 2-year mark with this book, and I think they really are getting into that groove of comedy, a little bit of action. Of course, this one was more comedy heavy. We get a bunch of kind of loser supervillains forming the Injustice League. We'll get them some more. They have a lot of fun with those characters. In a way, I always hate to think of villains as being, sort of losers. Because they all have their moments, obviously in other books, but you see what they're doing here. You got all these characters, especially DC, because you got a universe that's going back all the way to the late 1930s. And, you got a few spares that you can play with. All right. So let me know in the comments what you think of this one. Justice League International number 23, January of 1989. Love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Maybe think of subscribing. Maybe share with a friend. We're doing Justice League every Monday this year. But until next time, God bless everybody. Please be kind to one another. Have a little bit of fun out there. And I will see you again soon in Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Bye-bye.